Hi. Let me let everybody come into the room. It is 1:04 p.m. Monday, May 9th. Oh my God, we're already in May. We are already in May. Wasn't it just March? It was just March, but we're already in May. 5 people in the room. Go on ahead and come on in. We'll get started at the time I said, which is 11 or 1:15. I just jumped in early so that I could get the party going. Again, if you guys would like to join the conversation, please email me at justcallmewa. I have a tight 45 today. Maybe even 30 if I can get it out. So if you want to join, you got to tell me early. Hi, AK. Hi, Clouds. Hi, Camille. Hi, Chanel. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Joanna. Summer of Dragonfly. The Nola Rola. Jody, hello. Clouds, you're new. Jody, I don't know that I have seen you. Joanna, I don't know that I've seen you. Maybe you guys come in a little later. I've missed you. Call me Mrs. Gray. Hi. Hi, Christelle. Hi, Deidre. Oh my God, Deidre, you never are able to come in here. I'm awake. Yeah. Hi. Linda Anderson. Hello. Let's get a little air going. Thank you so much. JW, hello. Yeah, Sarah. I know. I'm like, I don't ever see your name very much. Hello. Your necklace looks like it's interesting in there. Is it turquoise? I love a good turquoise necklace, bracelet, jewelry. I just love turquoise jewelry. Turquoise jewelry. Oh, okay. Alrighty. But hello. Nice to meet you officially. Hello. This is a new one too. Busi skin, eh? Mijiak ho. Did I even kind of say that correctly? Hello, welcome. Mina, that's a new face. Hello. Hi, Jesse. New face. A lot of new people. Keisha, not new face, but hey, girl, hey. Hey, girl, hey. Ooh, we can get started with that. It's fine. But if you guys want to join the conversation, again, you can do so by emailing me. Again, email me soon as possible so that I'm able to put you in put you in sooner than later. It is. I love some big turquoise jewelry as well. Listen, feel it. New person. Again, hi, hello. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining my live. Gemini Dreams. Again, new person. Hello. Thank you for joining my lives. Raven, how are you? Happy Monday. Weriguanwa. Oh my God, is that a Belizean flag? Yes. I'm good, girl. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. It's a kimono-esque. I'm not sure. It's a top, you know. I should put some leggings underneath it, but thank you so much. I got it at Afropunk probably in 2012, maybe. Afropunk in New York City. There was an American expat who had been living in Ghana. So this is she's American and she moved to Ghana and created like a business in Ghana. And then she came back to the US for Afropunk to sell her wares. So I'm not sure if this is Ghanaian, but the print is. I don't know if the style is. It's giving me very much kimono. It's giving me like an Asian vibe. Like, this is what it looks like. It's cinched right here. But thank you. It's so funny. This is a subtle thing This is a subtle thing Gemini was saying. Okay, so look how Gemini spells. She says weriguan, right? And then like Jamaicans will say wagwan. It's so funny how like the slight difference in the way you say that kind of indicates where you're from. Anyways, just had to say that. Jamie R, hello. Daphne, hello. Kimberly, hello. Martita, hi. Yes, welcome to all the newbies. Join the family. Okay, first name was correct, Busi. Okay, Skinny or Skinny, just the nickname. Okay, Mji Yako. Ah, okay. Yako. Okay, so the K does not go with the YA. The K goes with the HO. Mji Yako. Mji Yako. Cool. Okay, Busi, I'll call you that. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Kimberly says, are you no longer posting your baby journey on the other channel? I will, is what it is. I just do not have the time to sit down and get all that together because I kind of want that to be a little bit cohesive, and maybe I'm thinking too much about it. I have been vlogging. So whenever I do like a baby thing, I vlog about it, and then I give this channel little updates. So at the end of some of my videos, I'll give you guys an update. So if you want an update right now, I can give you one right now. We have 5 minutes. So the update is in February. I started, going to the doctor often. When my period hit in February, then I started taking the shots after my period or something, 2 days into it, something like that. I started doing the shots. I did that for 8 days, vlogged that. So that is recorded. How I felt about it throughout that is recorded as well. It's a pretty intense time in one's life. You have to be home at a certain time to take this medication. I tried to get my family involved, and my sister was really helpful with it. But at some point, I just had to learn to give myself the shots. And then I was also starting to like date. So it was like, it was very stressful. I shouldn't have done it and started dating at the same time. But for me, there's no point in waiting for any of these things because you never know what's going to happen. I don't have time to wait for one thing and then try something new. So I'm just doing it all at the same time. So then I went and had the egg extraction March 4th, I think, or 5th, a Saturday. And then they told me they were only going to be able to get one egg. Only one egg looked like it actually did anything from the medications taken, but he ended up pulling out 5. But of that 5, only one egg was viable. So one egg was viable, got the sperm, merged it with it, created an embryo. Embryo lasted incubation for 7 days, so that was good. I think on the 8th or the 9th day, it was sent away for testing, and the test came back abnormal. So no embryo. I was not sad about it because one embryo was like, I don't think anything's going to happen out of this. I just kind of put it in the back of my mind. And when I got the news that it was abnormal, I just told the people who were, my life, who I know in real life, who were fully invested, did a vlog about it, about how I felt. And honestly, even months later, I'm still just like, okay, like I didn't expect it to work, honestly. I don't even expect this whole process to work. I'm going to be truthful. After going through this and hearing all the things that I've heard, I don't expect it to work. So I'm taking okay. So now I'm going to wait 4 months. I'm going to wait until August to start again. So when I start my period in August, I'll call them back and like start the process again. Do the egg extraction probably September, all that jazz. I am trying to eat better, like get healthy. I'm taking supplements. I'm gonna start doing the herbal teas, girl. Like I follow this person called the Goddess Collection on YouTube, and she's all about like alkaline goddess and blah blah blah. But she does herbal teas. You just take so often. That's the problem. Is like you have to brew them and drink them, and it's like 3 times a day, girl. But she's gotten a lot of reviews, and a lot of people are happy with the results. So I was going to throw that into the mix along with my vitamin supplements and my prenatals and all the things I'm taking, to see about like, having the eggs that are already in there be a little bit more healthy, because the doctor was basically like, your egg quality is not good. So let's do everything we can. The only issue is that I haven't like stopped drinking, which is what I should do. I mean, obviously I will. But you know, I just got a couple more margaritas to try. But anyways, thank you guys. Hi Tammy. Hi Michelle. Hi Lily. Hello, hello. Kiki Dum. Hello, you made it live. You made it. What time is it? Almost time. Let me get my melanated started. We got 96 people in the room. That makes me happy. Oh, 93 now. Rude. Just waiting for it to turn time. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé, Season 9, Episode 4, Pasta La Vista. Baby, I can't help but say that. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiancé, Love at First Sight. I was going to say Married with Children, which is a show from the 90s. I do Love is Blind. I can do The Ultimatum, you know, things like that. I like to recap those types of shows. So if there's a show you suggest I watch, please let me know and I will watch it and see if I can throw in a live about that show, give you my opinion, you know. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to share on any social media platform that you deem fit. Let's jump right into this episode. As somebody mentioned earlier, we are going to start with, oh, how did I make that happen? I just learned something new with this system, guys. I just like moved the comment section over so I can only see myself. Yeah. Emmy O, hello. Will you ever go back to Love After Lockup? Yes, because I watched 1.5 episodes yesterday. First of all, it's a 90-minute show now. It's no longer a quick hour. They gave it a full hour and a half. 2, this season is really good. And I feel like y'all did not tell me it was really good. You just let me let it go and didn't say, wah, come back. Love After Lockup is really good. So whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Daphne, who's your cousin? Anyways, we gotta jump in this episode. Stop sidetracking me. Stop trying sidetracking me. All right, let's jump into the first couple. Oh, if you guys would like to join the conversation, you can email me at justcallmewah, and I will let you jump in. But do it as soon as possible because I'm about to go on a roll and I might not have time to throw you in. Let's start with Jibri and Miona. For some reason, Chris Farah has the hardest time saying the name Jibri. Like she's like Jabri. You told me I'd say Jabri, and I'm like, no, you were saying brr before, and I was just telling you the boy's name is Jibri, and you still are like Jibri, Jabri. I mean, it's literally reminiscent of all of my childhood of just someone just butchering my name, and so I'm really sensitive to when people like can't get other people's names, and you know, I know why she can't get it, but I'm just throwing a little light shade at my good Judy, you know? Okay. Jibri and Miona. So in this episode, they are waking up. He has a do-rag on, and I said, thank you, my brother. I normally hate do-rags on people, and my brother has had to force me to not be so judgmental when I see them, but for some reason, seeing him with the do-rag was just like, okay. She's fresh-faced with a high fake pony. So mama got up, washed her face, brushed her teeth, put on a little lip gloss, gave us a little oil, and then put on a high extension pony. I don't know what that was, if it was like some kind of yaki. I don't know about false hair, but she was trying to make it work for her. And then he's like, oh, I have morning breath. And I'm like, you both brushed your teeth. I don't know what you're talking about. And so they talk about the fact that they need to go and get up and do stuff. And he's like, unpack your bags. And she's like, no, I don't want to unpack my bags. Not everything, because we're going to move soon. And he's like, well, not that soon. Not in 3 weeks. So unpack your bags. Like, you need to unpack your bags. And she's like, I don't understand why you don't care about my feelings. I'm telling you, I don't want to live here. I don't want to be here. And, you're acting like it doesn't matter. And he's like, I'm not acting like it doesn't matter. I'm being realistic. And we don't have the money to move where you want to move. The only way that we are going to be able to sustain a lifestyle and build this career is if we're in a place financially where we can actually afford to live the lifestyle you want to live. Because right now we can't do both. So you could do that from here. You could start your makeup company. I could get back and making music. And she's like, well, I feel like we would do better in a bigger area. He's like, we have the internet. We could do anything from anywhere. And I'm like, come on, Jibri. As much as this is so set up and fake, it's not bad. Like, I like hearing him talk and make sense. I can definitely tell that this is a child of a woman who has been very clear with her thoughts, and now her son is very clear with his thoughts. I mean, the truth is, wouldn't you rather have a Miona and Jibri than a Bilal? Because to me, Bilal is trying to make good TV, but putting himself in a very negative light. And I just hate it when that happens. Like, at least Jibri is holding himself, I think, in a way that would make Oprah proud. I feel like Bilal is just like, he's giving me Kevin Samuels. And I don't like it. I don't like it. So, Miona apparently doesn't cook or clean. I love it when people are like, oh, I don't know how to cook and clean. My parents still do all that stuff for me. But then I think to myself, if your parents do those things for you, then what are you going to do when you become parents? Like, how do you not know how to do those things as an adult? What is your home going to look like if your parents don't make you clean up after yourselves? Or yourself. I'm talking about two different people. Like, w- w- what what are what how do you she's 23, no? And I'm not saying she needs to get together and make an extravagant meal, but I'm like, there are some basic things you need to know as an adult. You need to know how to chop vegetables. You should know what flavors, like how salt and pepper and like onion powder, garlic powder, and Old Bay, like, you should know how those things interact and work in food. And if you don't know, because either your parents didn't cook, then I understand that. But if you had someone in your house making food, they just let you sit in front of the TV or be on your phone. You weren't forced to go into the kitchen and take the chicken out and let it thaw and then season it. Because I mean, listen, I hate cooking. I hate it. I don't want to do it. I don't know. I don't want to do it. I don't cook. You know what I'm saying? But I clean. So, and my walk is mean. But like, I hate cooking, and I would never do it again if I didn't have to. But I know how to season some shit, and I know how to chop some shit, and I understand what flavors taste like. It's so bizarre to me when I run into grown adults, and I ran into a lot of people like this in my 20s. We were the same age, and I'm like, you don't understand how seasonings work, and they're like, no, we either ate out or my mom made like some kind of casserole, so I know like how to use cream of mushroom soup, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but I just don't know. Anyways, so they go to the grocery store, and they both have on a cute little outfit. Say I'm here for the looks, and she is at awe with all the things in the grocery store. She says everything looks fake, and that we have frozen food for very little money, and it's crazy like that you could do this. And I said, you know what? As much as I would love to be mad at the US for what they're doing and how, all of our fruit is like, basically we can't buy bad looking fruit. We're spoiled, and it's not my fault. It's not my fault that the agricultural industry decided to put wax on apples and to make it so that produce sitting out at the grocery store looks the best. It's not my fault. So now that is my, baseline, and this is how I live my life. So, you're not gonna make me feel guilty about it, and I won't, for wanting a shiny apple. But I see her point. She's not wrong. Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, it is very convenient that we don't have to cook from scratch everything. And you can tell by the way that most Americans are built that we don't cook shit from scratch anymore. So she thinks string cheese is weird. And you know what? It is weird. It is weird. It's just mozzarella in a cylindrical, 'cause sometimes you can get mozzarella in a ball, but it is weird. So they had a good little time at the grocery store. Then they go back to the house, and she's like, "I don't know how to cook," and I'm like, "But you know how to read, and the directions are very clear on the backside of it." And then they're just talking about David, and she doesn't like David because she says he only saw me once. He shouldn't have much of an opinion. And I said, "Oh, is it cultural that your first impression is not a lasting impression? That you when you make an impression on someone the first time you meet them, that doesn't stick with them? Like, is that culture? Because let me tell you about me. And first impressions for me tend to be everything. And I'm somebody who always gives off a weird first impression to most people. Most people don't know whether they like me or not the first time they meet me. So I'm a victim of it, as well as I'm a practitioner. I'm a practitioner of, you know, act right the first time I see you. So she doesn't like David. He says it's obviously because David doesn't trust her intentions with him. And she says that it's because David feels like, she put a wedge between him and his bandmates. And I am often wondering, is it that the Black Serbs will not work without Jibri? Or is it that Jibri cannot make a living as a musician without the Black Serbs? Listen, I'm in full support of her making it so that he is able to be harmonious with his friends, especially his godfather, which is a weird thing to call it. Because in the States, we do have godparents. But that magical, what did he call it? He called it a magical ceremony. That ceremony happens between the godparents and the child, not the godparents and the parent. So it's weird for him to be referred to as a godfather. Like, he's my godfather. More so, but in the States, it's like, no, he will be the godfather of my children. He and I are bonded, we're brothers. And I thought it was really sweet. Like, I thought the ceremony in general was cute. And Jabri is not understanding why she doesn't get what that means, because it's her culture. So he's like, you should understand that this man is somebody's going to take care of you and the kids if I die. And she's like, no, no. She's like, that's not real. No, I don't like it. I'm your family. You need to take care of me. And he's like, yes, you're my family, but also is David. And I feel like you're putting me in between, and you're giving me an ultimatum, and I don't like that. And she's like, oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. Her hair is so slicked back, it looks painful. I feel like what she's doing is she's giving us this, and then she's doing her makeup even more angular so that we understand that she is snatched in the face. Snatched in the face. So they make the food, which I gather they didn't taste before they served it, because the parents think the food is disgusting. They're actually shocked that food is created, but also the food is not good. And the chicken is rubbery. And I'm like, well, yeah, what they made is a chicken rubbery type of meal, but also did they not season it? Here's the truth. It's packed with salt and preservatives because it's frozen. However, that salt is not salty. So you do have to add some other kind of seasoning to it. But the salad looked fine. And the parents are giving us good TV as always. They're having a moment where they look at each other, and the mother is trying to be nice about the food, and the father says it's awful, and they pass the hot sauce, which, the jury's really out on whether Tabasco is hot sauce. Is it, or is it just hot vinegar? I'm not a fan of Tabasco sauce. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm a hater. Okay. I feel like Tabasco sauce, maybe it's hot for sure, but I feel like the only thing that Tabasco sauce is like appropriate on is eggs. Anything else, like, why are you just adding hot vinegar to your thing? It's weird. Except for I do like the green Tabasco. That's good. So, anyways, Jabri gets upset, y'all. He's really hurt. Jabri is really hurt. I mean, he is an only child for real, for real. Like, he does not want his mother to criticize Miona at all, even though she wasn't criticizing her. I feel like as the American, he needed to taste that food before they served it. He's like, don't eat it then. Well, then fine, don't eat it. Don't eat it. If you don't like it, if it's not good enough for you, don't eat it. Just eat the salad. And the mother's like, Jabri, are you upset? And he's like, well, I'm upset. Yeah, I'm not upset. I'm just saying that Miona worked really hard. I mean, I did too, but Miona worked really hard on this. And you're just like talking mess about it. And I just think it's mean and inappropriate. And I was like, She must be looking at that little sensitive boy like, oh, you just little sensitive. Okay, little boy, you don't understand we on TV? You told me that these cameras were coming into my house and I needed to have energy. You told me these cameras were coming into my house and I needed to get my red rimmed stylish glasses. I needed to have my hair did. You brought these cameras into my home so that they can see that we eat at a dining room table that's smack dab in the middle of the living room. Okay? That dining room table, behind them are couches. I need to see more of the makeup of this house. But you have come into my home. All we ask is that so that we're not preparing all the meals and you just come and sit down and eat, is that you make a meal or two a week. And then you're going to be over here complaining. She didn't say this. This is me. You're going to be over here complaining about how your parents are making you do chores and you don't like chores and you want to live on your own and you are living here free, sir. Free. You are not paying for nothing. You think you're just going to traipse in and out of this house like it's a hotel? It's not. So the only form of payment I ask is for you guys to clean up after yourself and make 2 meals a week. Because y'all aren't going to work, is ya? No. So am I going to come home and cook? No. I don't think that's much to ask. And if the food don't taste good, they shouldn't have to swallow it. All she had to say was, baby, added some salt to it. Pass me this vinegar. Pass me the spicy vinegar. I mean, and the dad feels really bad. But the mom is over here like, I mean, the food was nasty. So what do you want from me? And I said, okay, Mahela, I see you, madam. I see you, madam. I see you, madam. Okay. This is her first time. She's never had to cook for her parents. What is that supposed to make me feel? Is that supposed to make me feel some kind of way? Am I supposed to feel bad for asking this 23-year-old foreigner who's coming into my home to cook a little something because her parents never made her cook? Well, that's too bad for them. That's too bad for all parties involved, isn't it? Hello, welcome to the live. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so no Sholo? I don't know how to pronounce X's. It's going to be real with you. In the States, X's are like either with an E at the front and then it's just X. That's the sound. Or like Shusha is Brazilian and like Shusha was an X too. I really don't know. So if you would like to tell me how to do it, please. But hello, welcome. And did anybody email me? Is anyone trying to join? Ooh, maybe. Nope. Sarah, thank you so much for the Venmo. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What's in here? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, moving on. I think Jibri just needs to get his feelings off of his shoulder. He's trying to manage a lot and it's stressful. He's trying to manage boosting his career by being on this show. He's trying to manage making his new fiance feel comfortable and understand the fact that they ain't got no money. And then he's moved back home and he's trying to like figure out life living in his parents' house again. So there's a lot going on. And he just wants his mother to be quiet and docile in the corner. But his mother understood the assignment and she said, we are on TV. So I'm going to act like we on TV. And I said, thank you, Mahela. I said, thank you. Thank you for understanding the assignment. Okay, next couple that we are going to talk about. New couple alert, new couple. Let me take this down so that you can see the stats. Patrick is 31 years old from Dallas, Texas, and Thais is 25 from Brazil. So Patrick has had a lot go on in his life. Whew, let me figure out how to take this down. There we go. Oh yeah, if you guys are at all interested in giving your girl a tip, you could do so in these places down below here. Even if you guys are not watching this live, I love like on a Tuesday or a Thursday to get a little Venmo from somebody who watches the replay. So don't be shy. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, so Patrick and Thais. Let's do my notes because I wrote the things down that I thought were importante. So Patrick is 31 years old. He's a gym rat. He is in home security. Does pretty well for himself, owns his own home, was sad and lonely in his own home, invited his brother John to come and live with him after having taken some time away from John. John is from Massachusetts, okay? Things are wicked hot where he's from, okay? Wicked hot. He sounds like Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg. It's like, it's a really hot accent. You know what I'm saying? And so he was super into bodybuilding. Like his parents got divorced when he was 7 years old, and his father just took off and left him and his three other siblings with their bipolar mother who had drug abuse problems. I wonder if the father knew. But anyways, so a lot of childhood trauma. So the thing he wanted the most is to make his family proud, to make his mother proud, and he got really into bodybuilding in high school. And after high school, he trained. He trained. He almost went to the Olympics, but the way he says it is though it's out of like an out of body experience. He doesn't say, "I took steroids and got caught." He says, "I tested positive," as though as though like when he said he tested positive. I thought he was going to say it for HIV. I don't know why, because the way he said it made it seem like it was an external thing. Like he didn't like he, had a wild night and just came up positive with steroids. Like doesn't like did a line of coke, whoop, it was steroids. Like it was just weird the way he like it was like he didn't know that he was going to be positive for steroids. Sir, you took the drugs. How were you? I was always weird for me when people were like, "Oh, I turned up positive." You took the drug. Why didn't you think you would turn up positive? But anyways, that's another part of his life, and he's learned his lesson, and he feels super, bad about it. But he was married. He got married to another gym rat, and she bodybuilded too. But then when he got caught, which I'm like, did she not know that you took steroids? But anyways, when he got caught and stopped bodybuilding, their relationship fell apart. I mean, it must have been more than that, right? You don't just, it can't be, but maybe it was. And so she moved on, and he was left alone in this big house by himself. So he called his brother John to live with him, and he's been kind of estranged from his family. He separated himself from them because I guess maybe they didn't give him the validation that he wanted. And so he moved far from Massachusetts. He moved to Texas and started his life there. And yeah, he was doing well for himself. But then he wanted to kind of get to know his father more. And his father was Brazilian, and his father moved back to Brazil to retire there. So his father had been living there for a few years. And so then he went to Brazil, and then he met Thais on Tinder, talking about he wanted to learn how to speak Portuguese better. And so, they found each other and they had a lovely time. And you know what? I honestly feel like they filmed not Love in Paradise, but something like that. They have footage of them together in Brazil. So the camera crews went to Brazil with him at some point. So this has been a long journey for Patrick and Thais. He speaks Brazilian. He speaks Portuguese, which I love. And she's learning to speak English, which I love. She's a beautiful girl, 25. They seem to have a lot of fun together, but she's Jasmine level of mistrusting. She's Jasmine level jealousy. She fights with him about where he's going and what he's doing. And I just think to myself, girl, you live so far from that man. Just let him live his life. There's no reason to stress yourself out. You're beautiful and you're 25. They have been talking for 11 months, and this grown man tells me and you that he has been to Brazil 14 times, spending 2 weeks at a time. And did I read this wrong? Y'all tell me, what did you guys get from this? Because he says they've been together for 11 months, so maybe they've known each other for longer. He has been to Brazil 14 times. How do you go to a country 14 times in less than a year? Did the government not stop him? At that point, he's running drugs, right? He's running drugs. You don't go to a country 14 times in 11 months. All right. Good night. Thank you. 14 times? Somebody make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Dual citizen? No. 14 times? uh, 100K on credit cards. Where that money coming from? Well, he's up. You could live like a king in Texas, and he runs a successful business, or he does something. Girl, him and his brother. His brother installs the security system, and him and a team do the door-to-door sales. And he was the boss, and he was running these teams, but he got caught up and gave everything to Thais, and so he's not making much money. And this man says that he was losing 14K a day. If he was spending 2 weeks, which is 14 days, and he went 14 times. That's just, let's do the math. Okay, how do I do this math? He went 14 times. Let's say, what's 14? What's the math here? Watching a theater major do math. Okay. He went for 2 weeks and he lost. So 2 weeks, let's start with that. 14, that's 14,000. I don't need to do that math. So 14,000, but then he went 14 times. 14,000 times 14 equals, that's almost $200,000 that he lost. I mean, is her poom poom like tight, supple, and juicy all at the same time? Like, what is that like? What is the poom poom like that you would forego almost 2,000 USD, 200,000 USD? Come on, Lisa. Let's talk about it. Martita, my friend is from Brazil. He brings Victoria's Secret lotions for his sister Zelle. Hello, Caitlin. Welcome. I just don't understand. Read the comments. Boston accents is all I see in the comments. Nia, what are you guys saying? Boston, $100,000 a day, $1,000 a day. I'm seeing that. I did the math. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what Nieva's talking about. To read the comments, I don't get it. But anyways, I just feel like I think it's a lot of money. Why does everyone keep saying 100K a day, 1K a day? I know that. $1,000. He says he's gone 14 times, and each time he's gone, he's spent 2 weeks there. 2 weeks in the US is 14 days. I'm sorry. Just kidding. 12. Wait, 7 and 7? Am I dumb? No, that's 14. What are you guys talking about? That's $14,000. Every 2 weeks he's losing, and he's been 14 times. Somebody put the math in there for me. Everyone keeps saying 1K a day. Because you said 14K a day. Oh, I didn't mean that. He loses 14K every time he goes because he spends 14 days there. So 14 times 1,000 is not 14,000? I'm so confused. Okay, I got you, but I thought you said 14,000 a day. I probably did, but the math that I was saying still equaled that. 14,000 a trip is what I should have said. And so since he's gone 14 times, 14,000 times 14 is $196,000. Lisa says 14,000 over the 14 days is her V worth $1,000 a day and the cost of travel. Apparently it is. Math is really hard. Math is very hard. That's a lot of money. Whew. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I think he's a fool. Anyways, so his every time we see his brother is drunk, and I don't like that, and I think TLC is doing that to us so that we can think a certain way about him. Martiza says, I worked at Salt Lake City Airport. These women who were diamond status, they would bring goods to sell in Latin America, 70-pound bags. Maybe he inputs. Okay, all right, okay. That might be. I hope he does it. I hope he does that. Let's just dish and stop reading math problems. I need to know the facts. So, anyways, he's talking to her on like FaceTime or whatever, and she really doesn't like the fact that his brother is there. She feels like the brother was having like a fiesta or whatever, and she's like, "This is gonna be my house. There will be no parties." The brother doesn't really like her. They're rekindling their relationship, him and his brother. So he doesn't want to give up that. He doesn't want to tell his brother to move. And I just feel like these people are really in a rock and a hard place. Like at this point you got to choose, and it's unfortunate that you have to choose, but I think you got to, right? So the brother then is like, you're really crazy over this girl. It's crazy that you're doing this all the time, and that you need to check in with her. So they go to a bar because TLC set them up to do it. They didn't need to go to a bar. I'm sure they got plenty of beer at home, but they went to a bar. And then they asked this lovely patron, who I had to get a shot of her because she was doing the Lord's work. Why don't I have a picture of her? Well, let's get it because I took one. Patron. Here she is. She's patron. So they had everybody sign forms if you wanted to be on TV with them. And we had this lovely lady, patron. Look at those earrings. You know what I'm saying? She said, okay, I'll be on your little show. She said, sure, I watch 90 Day Fiancé. I'll be on your little show. So the brother is like, don't you think it's crazy? Don't you think it's wicked crazy that I'm not doing it right. I can only say wicked hot. It's the only thing that I can do. So don't you think it's wicked crazy? I can't do it. There's the only thing that's crazy that he has to turn his location services on. And the girl is like, listen, that's very sweet, okay? It couldn't be me, but that's very sweet. She says to John, the brother, do you have a girlfriend? And he's like, no. And she's like, then shut up. I said, come on. I said, come on, give us TV. Give us TV. So her and her hubby gets on there, and the hubby, he's like, Texas. He's like, yeah, it couldn't be me. And she's looking at him, and I just loved her. She was great. She gave us good TV for just a second. She said, if he wants to do what he wants to do to make his girlfriend feel comfortable and secure, I support it. Now, the truth is that wahimalino doesn't support it. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that people are out here trying to control what other people are going to do, because at the end of the day, they are going to do what they are going to do. It has nothing to do with how tight you hold onto the reins, how much you cook, how much D you put in your mouth, how nice you are. People who want to explore other people will go and explore other people. They just will. There is a sense of integrity when it comes to dating. There's a sense of what you feel is right and wrong, that some people just don't have. They don't want to subscribe to the heteronormative monogamy type situation for themselves. They want the other person to do it for them. So some people just aren't honest about what they want, and it just is what it is. I just hate that idea that people are like running around trying to figure out where folk are in order to keep them honest. Like, no. So anyways, he says that when Thais gets there, he's going to take off his location services, but right now he's just tired of arguing with her about it. And so he's just going to give her what she wants, make her feel comfortable. When she gets here, it's going to be easier, because I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to be easier. She's going to be there and she's going to be alone. She's going to want you to be there all the time. She's young. She doesn't understand how money works in the US, and she's probably going to stop you from going to work and working your long hours because she's sad and alone. So whatever you think is about to change is not going to. It's only going to get worse. But, I'm here for the TV drama. All right, let's move on to these quick couples real quick. These quick little storylines. We've got Guillermo and Kara. So they're in the US and Kara is driving to her home, and Guillermo is in awe of everything that Virginia has to offer. And let me tell you, it was beautiful. I'm happy for him that he went to such a beautiful place. It was beautiful. He was like, "Oh my God, your cows are bigger. Like everything is just 3 times bigger. This is crazy." And seeing that excitement and that like, like fresh eyes on your area is really was really nice. I thought it was cute. And so then they get to the house, they wake up the next day. Apparently, they broke in their bed. Like, why do we need to know they have sex a million times? Like, I didn't care. But TLC wants to tell us that. It's actually Matt Sharp. It's Matt Sharp. He likes to just tell us about people's sex lives. And like sometimes we want to know, and most of the time we don't care. So they are talking about what they're gonna purchase or whatever, and then Guillermo says, "I need a laptop," and she's like, "You don't need a laptop. You have mine. We only have $6,000 to for you to live on. Like we've got a budget." And he's like, "Well, no. Part of that budget should be my laptop. You have your own laptop." And she's like, "Yeah, you can use my laptop." And he's like, "I don't want to use yours. I want my own." And she's like, "We don't need money for a laptop." And I said, "Girl, laptops are $300. Just go ahead and give him like one of those ones that you give your kid when they go to school. It's not going to be a Mac. That's fine. But you can spend $300 on a little Acer laptop. You know what I'm saying? Give him a little nothing HP and shut him up." She just really wants, and listen, I understand where she's coming from. She is not wrong. He is. He doesn't understand how money works in the US. Like, it's not like he doesn't understand. He probably truly doesn't understand how many bills she has. Maybe she has credit card debt. Like, he doesn't understand truly what he's walking into, I personally feel. But he's already on the defense. Like, you don't want me to be a man. You think I'm a baby. You want to control the money. I put some of that money into there too. Like, I sold my bike. I did this. I did that. And I said to myself, you know what, Kara, just give him his little $500 that he put towards it. I can't give him his little $1,000 and let's see how fast he spends that money. That way you are saving the rest of the 5,000 for the things you want to do it for. Because I'm almost positive that the things that he sold in the DR is not more or is not half of that $6,000. Maybe it is. I could be wrong. Give him his little 1,500 then. Just give it to him. But like, laptops are not expensive. Especially if you get a PC. Just tell him be like, "Okay, babe, you want a laptop? We can't afford the $1,200 MacBook, but I can get you a $300 PC. It gets on the internet, download you Google Chrome, and you can do what you want to do from there." Just do that. So I do understand what she's talking about, but at the same time, she's holding on a little too tight. He can't get a MacBook. You should be like, "Yeah, we can get you a laptop. It just can't be an expensive one. The most we can spend on your laptop is $400. Okay? Is that okay? If it's not okay, it's honestly going to have to be." And then she just goes out and buys a laptop and come back with it and be like, "Here you go." And if he's like, "I don't want it," then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to return it. But then you don't have a laptop. So you take this or nothing." You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, listen, it is what it is. Okay. That's all I have for them. And let's go into Bilal and Shyla because that was a relatively small one, and we can get it over quick. Bilal is trash, as we all know, and so we are hot off the heels of her finding out that this home is the actual home she's going to live in, and Bilal's family comes over, and they all know about the prank, so they all hug her, and she's excited to see all them. It's his brother, his sister, Nefertari, and the mother, and everybody has just got their game face on. Everybody is ready for the cameras. Everybody's ready to go, and I love it. Okay. So they all love Shaeeda. They're excited to see her. They're really warm and open towards her. And then they go to sit down to eat. And the previews would have you think that they felt some kind of way about her being upset about that home that she was in. But they weren't that way. And they tried to edit it to where it makes it seem like the mother had made a face. But the truth is, they all know that that house is not suitable. They all know that that wouldn't be a fun. That there's no spout in the kitchen sink. There's no spout on the kitchen sink, and the popcorn ceiling is crumbling. So they know. They know. So they're not fools. And you're not gonna have me sit up here believing that this whole black family are fools. You know what I'm saying? This isn't the Wish and Ethiopian family who like is completely cultural difference. I don't get it. I don't understand why Wish thought that she could hop out of that van and tell Ari that she didn't want to talk to her, but then also ask to see Ari's baby. Oh no. Oh no, no. So this is not that family. And the family was like, what did you think? And she was like, I felt like I walked back in time. And, and she didn't want to say anything. They were forcing her to speak up. So at that point, you have to just take whatever is said. And they took whatever was said. And he is going to tell her in front of them that because she wants kids, that she is living in a fantasy land. Because he says, I want to travel. There are certain things that I want to do, and having a baby would not be in line with what I want to do. And she keeps living in this fantasy world talking about, yeah, babe, we can just take the baby with us. And he's like, no, we can't. And I said, if this mother wants to strap that baby on her back and go paragliding, you let that woman do it. Okay? Stop telling her what she can or cannot do with that baby. She could, you could do what you want with one kid. It's you, Bilal, that doesn't want to have more kids. You don't want to change any diapers. Maybe the first time was traumatizing for you. Also, I felt there was a little trauma too, because he says that once you have kids, people change. And I said, oh, your ex-wife changed, didn't she? Because she had two mouths to feed, and you were probably still trying to act the same. Well, listen, people do change once they have kids. Their priorities shift. And if your priority doesn't shift with your partners, or at least allow you to understand where they're coming from, there will be problems. And his family is like, oh, Bilal's going to be so hurt if this doesn't work out. But then I said, Bilal needs to then give her a baby, because that's what she's been very honest about. And then they're like, oh, well, you still have 90 days to decide. And she says, oh, yeah, I have 90 days to decide. I do have 90 days. You're right. If Bilal doesn't say that he will have a child with me at the end of these 90 days, I'm not going to marry him, because it doesn't make sense for me to do so. And I'm like, yes, Bilal's over here going to tell these folk that she's living in a fantasy land. This is a 37-year-old woman who wants children, and you have gotten in a relationship with her. These men, these men, these men. He wants her full attention. Yeah, you're right, Chriselle. But I also think it's because he probably thinks that the reason why him and his wife didn't work out is because she changed once they had kids, and he doesn't want he doesn't want more kids. You know what? I don't like. Let me just say this, and this is me being sexist. That's fine. The men can jump in and pop in and say what they need to say. But like when men act like does he really, is he really planning on being there and changing diapers as much as she is? If she's willing to take on the burden of doing the thing of carrying the child, doing the mother thing 24/7, while you get to go and work for 14 hours a day and then come back and change a few diapers on the weekends. But like, what is the big deal? It's one more child. She didn't say she needs three more. She doesn't want to throw you back into like, I don't know what it is to have children. So some of y'all that are in the comment section can tell me what it is. But like, babies are the best. Now, the 2 to like 8 is a little rough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be an interesting 6 years. But you have the rest of your life after those 6 years. I don't get it. Not even 2. I don't get it. What do you mean? It's one kid. And you have these other ones that are older. I just don't know. Starting over, I would not do it. Yeah, I understand why women wouldn't do it. Because I feel like women are the ones that a lot of the pressure and a lot of the like weight is on. But Bilal doesn't strike me as the type of man who is like all in all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't strike me as somebody who's like, who stayed home with his kids, gave up his career for the kids. Like, if he did that and he feels like, okay, I gave up my career once for my life, I gave up who I was as a person for the first, 8 years of my child's life, and I'm going to feel pressure to do that again. So I don't want to have kids. But I just feel like I just don't believe that Bilal is the primary caretaker. So I don't understand what it is. Maybe he's worried about the lack of sleep, but the kid could be an angel. But doesn't even the lack of sleep only last for like the first year? And even less than that if you, and I'm not trying to say it's only this, only that. I don't want to diminish what that is because I don't know what it is. I watched it, it was in the room next to me with my nephew, but my nephew slept through the night before a year hit. So I guess I'm just like, I get it. One sleepless night, two sleepless nights adds up and it's hell. I guess I just don't believe that Bilal wouldn't just sleep through the baby crying. Do you get like I don't believe him. I don't believe he's an involved parent. I just don't believe that. That and I don't believe Marty says, I'm 39 with a 15-year-old. If I met a man without kids and he wanted them, I wouldn't do it. Okay. You're a woman, Marty. No, it looks like you're a woman. I want a man to tell me. I just feel like the burden is always on the women. So I do understand why a woman wouldn't want to do that. It's her body, it's her time and attention, and it's stressful. I guess I guess I just don't believe that he is an involved dad. So there's that. There is that. He is worried about the mess, of course. Oh, okay. I see that. I can see. Okay. Okay. That I understand. I understand. Ah, yeah, 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 Lucy. Here we go. Okay. He don't want the baby all over his white furniture and mess up his OCD ways. Okay. Okay. That makes more sense to me. Okay. Okay. Not to mention these teens years are kicking my butt. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thank you guys for, giving me a little insight and a little insight. A little insight. The tasks changed with the ages. It's not get through the first years and George Foreman grill it, set and forget it. Let's see. No, Lala, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Let's see. Yes, I did. Oh, yes, I got it. Thank you so much. Yay, thank you so much, Lala. Thank you. It just went to my email, so it didn't pop up. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb so that people don't just be texting me throughout this. Okay. Hetty, hello, welcome, welcome. But anyways, I like the way that she is kindly fighting back because he just says things that are just, how dare you tell me that I'm living in La La Land because I want a child and like I don't know and you know and you're so much more whatever. I don't like him. Anyways, let's move on. So let's talk about Kobe and Emily because girl, Emily was getting on my nerves this episode. On my nerves. So our first scene that we see with them, and we're completely unprepared, is to see Kobe in his chonies. Okay, we see Kobe in some tidy whities. They are really trying to drive home that this man is comfortable in his knickers because he used to be a model, an underwear model. It's too much. I don't need to see somebody's bulge in tidy whities ever in my life. If I'm going to see a bulge, can they just be black underwear? Can they be? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. It was too much. It was gratuitous. So he brings her coffee in bed. They're really excited because the chemistry was there. He says that everything down below was good and that, she's like, he didn't really mess with him. He looks like Pops from House Party. He does. Rest in peace, Robin. Woo. It was anyways. So he didn't do much boob play because she's, has milk and whatnot. And he seems really, we're gonna get into this next episode, but he seems really taken aback about the breastfeeding. And she's super sensitive about it. And listen, I don't know what it's like. I watched somebody breastfeed and I was like, oh, that is you okay. When you pump, you look like a cow, a dairy cow, like set up with your udders, because that's dairy cows just stand in one place and then someone puts suction cups on their udders and like, rah, 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 rah. It just looks like a cow milking. It is, they have got to come up with a better way for women to pump milk and it not look like you're a dairy cow. Someone needs to fix it. Now, I think that Kobe is very, very handsome. Every time I see him on camera, he's cute. He's cute. So the chemistry is there because he looks so good. It's so good. And then they get up and they leave and they're in the car and she's like, babe, are you ready for your life to change forever, babe? So good. Babe, you ready for everything to be different? Oh my God, I'm so excited for you to meet Coben. Oh, I'm so nervous for you to meet my family. Oh my God, this is so crazy. It's finally here. You're touching me. We're here. Babe, babe, you look so good, babe. So good. I'm so excited that you're going to meet Coben. Emily gets on my nerves. I'm just going to be honest with you. She really gets on my nerves. Everything she does bothers me. I just think she's an annoying person. And so she's making it worse. Like he starts to cry because he's overwhelmed. And I love to see a black man on TV cry. It's awkward as hell, but I love to see it. Let's normalize black men showing emotions, okay? And so she's just making it worse by touching him. And she's like, oh, babe, are you crying? Babe, stop crying, babe. Oh, babe, stop crying, babe. You look so good. I can't wait for you to meet Coben. Oh my God, I can't wait for you to meet my family. I'm nervous. I'm like, how do you think he feels? How do you think he feels about to walk into this, like, God knows what? Also, why does this house only have one bathroom? You've seen the house from the outside. There's a full veranda on the second floor, wrap around. They can't throw in another bathroom? I mean, they got a whole open floor plan. It's giving me very rustic. I just expected more out of this place. I mean, you guys, it was a lot. So they get there and the family has put out banners, pictures of Copen's face. He's really excited. And she's like, oh, I hope he's not cranky because he's sleepy. The way they talk about Coben is like he's just wild child. I'm like, you two raised 2 children and being around a toddler again has just like blown your mind. You act like this baby is just like out the bushes crazy. Like he's a baby. And if he's the way he is, it's because y'all aren't doing anything about it. And you don't have to. I'm not saying that you should do something about it, but stop talking about this child like you didn't inform him how to behave. I'm talking about this baby. So he gets into the house. He's super overwhelmed. There's lights, there's camera, there's producers, there's parents. There's the only thing that he wants to see, which is this baby. And then he's got Emily touching him, talking about how nervous she is. So the baby goes directly to her. He's missed her. He hugs her. He wants that tata. He wants the tata real bad. Okay. And he doesn't understand who this person is in front of him, but he wants that tata. And he doesn't want to go to his dad because he doesn't get it, which is fair. And then all of a sudden, Emily switches over into mob mode, with there's nothing wrong with it. They sit on the couch. She takes out the breast. She starts to feed him. Colby wants to touch his baby. It has been 17 months and like a 3-hour car ride. He wants to touch his baby. So he's touching the baby's feet. And she says, don't touch his feet. He's trying to go to sleep. And I was all the way over. I was all the way over her. Don't touch his feet. He's trying to sleep. Listen, I'm not a parent, but sometimes y'all parents be real crazy about nap time. Yes, he will be cranky. Yes, he's gonna go to sleep. If his father, who's never seen him, wants to rub his little toesy woesies, let the man rub his toesy woesies. It's not preventing that child from going to sleep. It's not preventing him. And I said, oh, you want help though, right? But only if it's the way you think he should give it. He already didn't force himself to hold Colben because he knows Colben wants that teta and wants his mother's love. And all the man wanted to do was touch that baby's feet. That's all he wanted to do. He didn't say, give me him F his sleep. He just wanted to touch his little toesy feetsies. Don't touch his feet. He's going to sleep. She's going to have to do better. Because the things that she talks about in her confessional is like how she wants... This person is a new parent. He's never been a parent. He wasn't there for his child's birth. He just wants to touch his son's feet. All he wanted to do initially was just come home and see his son. But you said, no, we're going to spend the night here and have sex first because I need to make sure that our chemistry is still there. So he said, okay, I think you're being selfish, but okay. And he acquiesced. Yes, this was the right thing to do so that we could get on one accord. But I can't touch his feet. She's gonna have to give Kobe at least 1 month with this child to create bonds without her jumping in and stopping them because she doesn't think that what he's doing is right at the time. I don't know. The babies that I've been around, they gonna sleep. They will sleep. Nothing is going to stop them besides even loud banging. Kids will sleep mid banana baby food in their mouth. You will be putting that in the mouth, and they'll be like, children will sleep. The children, they will sleep. I don't understand why touching his toesy woesies is going to prevent this child from sleeping. Children will sleep fully, halfway spaghetti to the mouth. You ever seen a baby milk wasted? Just drunk off of titty milk? I mean, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. They will sleep. So it's just really weird. Oh, Shannon Van. Hey, girl. Hey. It is really weird. He didn't force himself on that child. He broke down when he saw them, forgot to speak to her family. And then the family, I'm just in his corner so much that when the family was even like, I'm going to watch him and see how he is with my grandson. Like, part of me is like, okay, that makes sense. But a whole other part of me, I guess the black part of me is like, if you don't let this man develop a relationship with his son, I'm going to be pissed. There was circumstances that prevented him from seeing his son, called a whole world pandemic. So don't treat him like he's some wayward African man who just got your wild ass daughter pregnant in China and just left her to herself. No, no, no. She is just as culpable in this as anything. And now that he's here and you guys, they've fought and paid money to get to the US, you're going to say you're just going to watch him? That's his baby. That is his baby. And fully allow him the opportunity to be a father before you try to step in and stop what he does with his son. Fully allow it. Allow his cultural differences, allow the way he thinks his children should be done. Allow it. Allow it, allow it, allow it. That's just what I say. Don't touch his feet. He's sleeping. Last couple that we're going to talk about, because I got to eat, is, where are they? Oh, there they are. Ari and Benny. He's an amphibian. He's a slippery frog. I can't get it out of my head. So in this segment, Ari Ari's gonna miss that nanny. She said, "Can you braid my hair?" Could you imagine asking a grown person just to braid your hair? Like my sister, yeah, I would ask her, "Hey, can you my older sister who braids hair like a genius." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming. So I'm bring some hair. Can you braid my hair, please?" But just to ask another grown woman who's in servitude to you to like just braid my hair, it was just so luxurious, and she's gonna miss that woman because that woman is there to help her with that kid. That's her job. The nanny is there to help. That's her best friend. That's her nanny. That's her cook. Probably her cleaner, and then her hair braider. It was giving me very much like Lady's Maid. Very much. I said, is this, what is this? Is this Downton Abbey? Are we in the Gilded Age? What's happening? So they have a conversation about last night, and Ari seems in pretty decent spirits. She's not being rude to him, even though he didn't defend her and protect her the way he should. And at this point, I think his sisters are right. Benny is only in this relationship because of Avi, and he's trying to make things work with Ari. And you can tell in the way that he doesn't support her, and he's just not a man with her. He's got all the muscles of a man, but then he doesn't have the heart or the brain of one. He just allows things to happen to her. He allows his family to talk to her any kind of way, but he yet and still expects her to be the bigger person and to just do whatever. And so what I'm starting to realize is there's a cultural difference that I'm not getting. There's a cultural way of behaving that I don't understand as an American, because I expect him to stand up and tell his family that they need to treat her correctly because he's made a choice to be with her. He's made a choice to have unprotected sex with a stranger. They got pregnant, and like they make it, the siblings make it seem like Ari like a barnacle attached herself to this man and that he was just this like leaf in the wind going along with it. There's no ownership on him. There's no accountability on Benny. None, not from their perspective. It is all her fault. So he says, I know, like, Ari, yesterday, and it wasn't right. They throw the wine on you, and it's not good. But in my heart, I need you in my family to, be nice to, So maybe we have lunch, and they say bye, and you come. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna go. But yes, definitely you and Abi go. But I'm not upset. I have washed my hands and I'm done and I'm over it and we're moving home. So I'm not gonna go. And he's like, "Oh, you are upset." And she's like, "I'm not upset. You guys are upset. I'm ready to just be done with it. But I'm also not gonna go. Like it's not a big deal. Just go. Say goodbye to your family." I did my best yesterday, and there was wine thrown in my face. So I'm not gonna go. And he's like, "Oh, okay, Ari, I wish you'd go." And I remember 2 seasons ago when he got mad at her for getting a translator because he says that they communicate perfectly and they speak English and he speaks English. Every time this man speaks English, I don't know what he's trying to say. And I'm so happy that there are subtitles. And it just draws me back to that time where he got mad that she got a translator. No, you need a translator. You do not speak English. It's like you just got enough English to get you to talking to foreigners. I don't know what you were saying. Again, cultural differences. He operates in a different way than I do. So he's like, I don't want to be stressed. Ari, and I don't. My sister, wish. I don't want for her, them to be mad. It's very stress on me. And I'm like, yeah, because you haven't chosen a side. You haven't chosen your side. You haven't chosen Ari's side. You haven't chosen your sister's side. You are just kind of like expecting Ari to just take abuse from them. And they blame her because you splooged in a stranger on the street. You busted in a stranger. And they are mad at that stranger for that, which is a really old school way of thinking that women are the ones that are responsible for this child. And no, they are because they have to carry it. But like Ari would have just been home in the US because you were not able to maintain her here. So if your brother has 2 women, American women, that he has gotten pregnant, and both of them at some point has wanted to leave him, who is the problem? Your brother. Like, how much English did he even speak to his first wife? I mean, his English is atrocious. I he speaks in his language half of his confessional, and he's going to talk about we don't need a translator. I speak English. And you know what the thing is? So I don't even on Ari's side. I'm not even on Ari's side, you guys. I think that she has used tears. She has used her privilege. She has used her Americanness as a weapon this entire time. But he is not doing anyone any favors. So he goes to meet his siblings, and the oldest one is crying. The brother doesn't say anything. Wish is the one speaking the most. They ask, where is she? And he's like, oh, she's still upset. And this girl just told you she wasn't mad. So I was mad for her then because I was like, why are you telling them she's upset? She's not upset. She doesn't want anything to do with them. They're like, well, good. It's a good thing she didn't come. So he knows that his sisters don't want to see Ari, but he's still putting the pressure on her to show up. He's the only person who's in some kind of denial. So they are like, you can come back at any time. We wish you all the best. Go try to find your other son. We love you. Then they get to the airport. There's so much luggage, and his sisters are coming to the airport to say their final goodbyes. And Ari gets out of the car to, I guess to greet them. And Wish says in English, "We don't want to talk to Ariella." And so she's just like, "Okay, well, great. I'm gonna go in the van then. The baby's tired. It's closed out here. It's cold out here. I'm gonna breastfeed him. I'll sit in the van. You guys have your time." They're telling him, "Oh, you're the definition." No, they tell the cameras, he's the definition of stuck. The only reason why he's with her is because of this baby, and we feel bad for our brother. And Ari is the problem, and she's the this, and she's that, and like as though he has no control over his life, as though like she is solely the problem. And then they're like, "Oh, can we kiss Avi?" And she's like, "No, you can't kiss Avi. Like, I'm sorry, you already no." He's like, "Oh, oh, hey, Ari, oh, the baby, my sister is kissing. No, no, no. They could come in here. It's cold out there. I don't want you to take him out there. They could come in here and say their final goodbyes, but they're being stupid, and so now they can't. I don't want to see them. They don't want to see me. They're not going to see my son, and I'm feeding him right now, and it's cold out there." And I know most of y'all will be like, "Oh, she should have let them see the baby." Fuck that. No, you don't get to tell me straight to my face you don't want to see me. And then I'm comforting my baby and then have him out in the cold to say goodbye to you. You'll see him on FaceTime. You saw him at lunch. You're fine. You should have gave him kisses then. Trash. 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 Absolute trash. Just basura. Just so rude. And he keeps saying like, "Oh, I can't delete my family from my heart, and I need them to get to be a cohesive." And I said, "No, you don't. You just need them to be cordial. But you can't even make your sisters be cordial to Ari when Ari is trying to be cordial to them." And then the sister throws a full glass of wine in her face because she says, "I'm not marrying you. I'm marrying Benny." They are so offended by that. Again, must be a cultural difference. So offended by that. Even in the van, he's like, "Oh, if they come around, just say hello." And she's like, "I'm not rude. If people say hi to me, I'm going to say hi back to them. Don't worry. Like, I'm not going to do that." She gets out of the car and they immediately say, "We don't want to talk to her." But he does not correct his sister. He doesn't say, "Look, you threw wine in her face. You did the most. You will be nice to her from now on. You don't have to like her. You don't have to love her, but you do have to respect her as a human being, as the person I'm choosing to be with. So you will say hi to her. She will say hi to you. And that is it." He doesn't say that. So Ari's just supposed to like have wine thrown in her face and then go have lunch with them. And then she's supposed to go to be at the airport and have them say, "Oh, we don't want to see Ari." And then she's just supposed to hand over her. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He is naive. He is a grown man. Anyways, I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Okay. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't hate anybody. It's a strong word, but I don't wish to see them anymore. Ha 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 ha. Wish to see them anymore. That's because Benny doesn't have a backbone, but I don't know the cultural nuances. That's what I'm saying too. It must be something that I'm missing because, from an American standpoint, not even American, I'm not even going to say that my values are American. From my personal values, Ari has been cordial to them. I have not seen her be rude to them. She's gone and done like, poom poom cleansing and all kinds of manner of stuff with them. And they keep saying that they've done everything and she's the problem. And I haven't seen it. I've seen her be frustrated at him for not providing for her in his own country. So she's like, "You know what? You cannot provide for me in your own country. Let's move to my country and I will have my family provide for us and eventually I'll provide for us." He's not a provider. And so he shouldn't have kids. Ooh, Reed Kicker, give us some tea. Give us some information. Yes, in Ethiopia, the wedding is the whole community. Everyone that was responsible in your upbringing is important. Watch Ethiopian weddings on YouTube. Okay. So yeah, there is just a cultural difference. And I just think, but I just don't understand. Like, am I crazy thinking that they're wrong for being rude to her? I don't think I'm crazy for that. They're rude to her. And I haven't seen what she's done to them yet. I can see the what, if you want to say she's done to him. D. Nicole says Ari is being manipulative, which she has always been, and definitely use the baby against them, like she will continue to do so. Okay, that's fine. I haven't seen it. But if that's true, then it's okay. I've seen Ari be chilling with the nanny, as controversial or as not as it may be. I saw her over the constant fighting with the sisters and continue to egg her on. To me, it's like they walk in her house, didn't say hello, but demand to see their nephew. No. That's what I say too. The sisters are manipulative too. They just want Benny to get here to see the son, number one. I think he provides quality swimmers. Ooh, bold face. You can't say hi to me, then want to kiss my baby? Bye. If those sisters respected Benny, they would respect Ari, not because of Ari, but because they respect their brother and his decisions. I think really there must be a cultural something, because they're like, our parents passed away and now all we have is him. And I'm like, but he doesn't do anything. They're like, he's the joy of our lives. So there's something going on culturally that I'm not aware of, because they revere Benny and they feel really bad that he's stuck with her Ari. But I'm like, he's stuck with her because he stuck it in and didn't pull it out. So whose fault is that? He's only with her because of the baby. Yeah, because he lost one baby and he doesn't want to lose another. This is all him. He's an adult. Okay, but is the drama real? I think they want a spinoff. I would not watch that because I'd just be mad at them. That's what's wrong with these men now. Always got the women and their families being enablers. No, Marty, we don't know though. We don't know. It could be cultural. We don't know. Is Benny respectable though? He's giving high value. Oh my god. Can we just let like let's just let Kevin Samuels go. You know what I'm saying? He's gone. Bye. Maybe it's because he's the youngest siblings and didn't have their parents. Maybe. But it still doesn't, mean that he can't be responsible. He's the baby. I guess they feel like they did something wrong in raising him after their parents died. I don't know. Okay, you guys, that is the end of this recap. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me today. I have to run, got things to do today, people to see, things to do. But I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. What am I saying? What was I thank you? I already said it. All right. You guys have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. I should do some Love After Lockup stuff. You guys are really, you guys watching it is so crazy. I saw a guy get knocked out and fall to the ground. Whew. Good times.